Hello, welcome. This is Maniac Tim, the Maniac One Sports Show. Yeah, just kind of recap a little bit as far as go through a little bit on what happened today. Everybody knows that, fortunately, the Pistons lost to the Knicks, but oh well, it is what it is. But the NFL draft took place. Did the Lions really do what we expected? Is this guy gonna really work out to be what is he actually, was he the best fit for Lions? Is that why they picked him, where there might have been somebody who a lot of other people thought had a better skill set that was still left on the board? Was he the best player player available? From what I'm hearing, he was not, but let alone he was. I mean, they graded him. They rated the Lions a grade C plus in getting this guy. Um, you know, uh, I like the fact that he can control the line of scrimmage. I do like that. I do like that he's a great run stopper. I do not like where where he doesn't good at putting pressure and sacking. Um, it it is no. Hey, I'm a Lions fan, so yeah, that's why I'm talking about the Lions pick first rather than just talking about uh, Tyreek Williams. He's out of Ohio State. Okay. Okay, so he's out of Ohio State. Uh, 6'3", 34 pounds. With a reach of 32 inches, and his arms, defensive tackle. Of course, as before mentioned here, he's from Ohio State. Uh, so I mean, it's like, well, what is he that piece that's going to help? I mean, we're all of our us Lions fan, and really everybody in the NFL draft is actually, or every team is shooting for that ultimate prize. Uh, the Lions have gotten so close to actually, year before to actually entering the Super Bowl, but last year, of course, they fell short. With losing to Washington Commanders and stuff like that in the playoffs. Is this guy with the added, um, you know, the added help? Is he really going to be? Was he the best pick for Lions? What do you guys think? Do you think that he was the best pick, that Lions did right by getting him, or do you think that it was, this is somebody they could have waited to get in later rounds? Is his, I know Brad, I heard a little bit of Brad Holmes' press conference. He thought this guy was going to fit. Tyreek was going to fit. And if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, I do apologize. He thought that Tyreek was going to fit right into the scheme of things. Uh, and hey, it is what it is. Is this, what do you Lions fans think? Do you think that it's a scratch your head type of move? Is it a wait and see? And really, anybody you get in the draft is always going to be a wait and see, because you get some that are bust and some that are not. But I really don't know what to say on this other than that. The guy looks like, you know, he got the speed that they need. Is he? I mean, he's a good run stopper. I'm gonna put a link to the show just in case somebody wants to hop in. But I just need to say the jury in me is still out on this guy. Although we have seen Brad Holmes has done outstanding jobs in bringing people into the draft. This year the Lions have drafted a lot later than last year was very late too. But they have drafted a lot later this year because and as of later years because hey they've been more contenders now. So of course everybody knows the way the draft goes. There's no draft lottery in the NFL. It ain't like the and I ain't telling any of you diehard fans anything, but it isn't like the NBA. It isn't like the NHL. You don't get a lottery. You know, basically what you get, the way you get your draft pick is the worst team. The worst team gets the first pick. So sometimes it can be beneficial and work out for if you know how to build a team from scratch. But then, of course, if you're that bad, hey, you can be that bad for a long time. Lions have been on that side of the field for so long, but now I think they have gotten past that. Uh, we'll get to see how great of a team Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell has built. Because hey, this next year is going to be a testing year. We have, of course, Ben Johnson and that being with Chicago. Chicago took the Michigan tight end. Uh, so, hey, we all know how Ben Johnson is, but we might be able to stop Ben Johnson because we know him so well. Of course, in the flip side of that, he knows us so well too. So, he knows the strengths, the weaknesses, um, and expect him to be doing a lot in building and, expect Ben Johnson to be building and structuring his um, offense around Caleb Williams, just like Ben Johnson did around Jared Goff. Um, just expect it. But the Lions need to figure out a way to get that pressure um, on quarterbacks like that. You know, they got to be able to get pressure on Caleb Williams and sack, you know, Jalen Daniels. They got to be and that's really one of the things that, you know, if they, in some ways, I feel they have fell short. Now, hey, this is day one of the draft. Day two coming up tomorrow. Um, Second round, in order to keep on being a great team, you gotta succeed in the second round. Your second round picks are very, very important. Too. So hey, how's it going? 313 New Breed. How's it going, buddy? Yeah. How's it going? I got home from work, and unfortunately, I didn't plan it right, so I wasn't able to get the draft off this week. Or this year. But I should have planned it a little bit better, and then they would have needed to give me the vacation time if I would have planned it better, but I didn't. But oh, I'm doing okay. What do I think of our pick? It's I, I can see some benefits of our pick, but it's kind of scary too. I mean, it's you know, I I was reading a little bit of it too. He's a good he. I think he's going to be a good run stopper. I don't like the fact where he's uh, doesn't really get the sacks. Uh, you know, it's and he seems to be on a little bit of the small side too. Uh, he seems kind of like when I was reading the introductory to him, about him, I it made it sound like they were just got him till clean went ahead and got better and stuff like that. I think that you need your first round players need to be eventually starters that's going to be able to lead the force of winning your team of your team being a winning team basically. And if he's just like a rotational guy and stuff like that, if he's just there to go ahead and fill in till McNeil gets back, I don't like it. But if he's there to be a stable part of this defense to help stabilize, the defense and actually to help bring bring them to be a more dominant defense. You know, with all the spittering and sputtering that I'm saying, we need to be a more dominant defense. And what I mean by that is not only going ahead and uh, stopping the run, but we need to be able to stop those damn running quarterbacks, as we all know. So we need to be able to sack guys like Caleb Williams. We need to be able to sack guys like Jordan Love. That's what you need to be able to do. And this is a type of player. Yeah, I mean, we need to like I have said, like we need to be able to knock these quarterbacks on their ass. So this is going to be remain to be seen if this pick was right for the Lions. Although Brad Holmes, my man, he thinks he really likes the guy and stuff like that. He really thinks this guy is gonna work. They picked him for some reason. Everybody disagreed, a couple years ago when they picked Gibbs so high and all this other stuff. So I gotta wait and see what this guy's gonna do. And in saying that, I'm gonna read exactly what you said. Uh, how did you feel about Shadir Sanders not getting drafted? And that's one thing that I was well, he does play for Colorado State. It isn't like he plays for you know doing those type of numbers for like Ohio State, Michigan State, or Nebraska. You know, so you could understand and some of that, and also he did get hurt. Uh, I think you know I is he going to be that is he going to be that fine for somebody else? I don't know. I think you know I mean it's surprising in some ways, but would it really be as surprising if he wasn't Deion Sanders' son? You know, I mean, yes, his accolades and stuff like that speaks for himself. But you know, as far as what he's done, but yet alone he did. He wasn't in a top school, so that got to factor in it. You know, but and when you're not in a top school, you're not playing against a competition because everything moves faster in the NFL. Number one, everything does. You know, he wasn't playing teams like what Jaden Daniels was playing last year. Or Caleb Williams. So I'll tell you what, I could see why people may not have wanted to take the risk on him because the NFL is a much faster game. You got the elite of the elite in these in this league, and it's top notch guys and stuff like that. So it's top notch talent. So you know that's all I got to say. What do you think? Did I have no, and I'll tell you what, I have nothing against Guy either. There's nothing personally against Guy, and this is coming from somebody. In all fairness, I gotta say I didn't really see a lot of his play either. So in all fairness, but it's just from what I know that he was not in that type. He was not in that tier one type of college, uh, university, and that's where you know, I mean, hey, okay, let's put it this way: would you rather have Sanders or would you rather have Jared Goff with the line? Okay, okay, okay. I'm surprised somebody. I, I got my new glasses and I can't even read. Okay, I'm surprised nobody took him, as many teams need a QB, especially Browns or the Giants. Well, yeah, that is true. But if you both the Browns and the Giants, both those two teams have been burned in leaping at quarterbacks and signing them unwisely. Now, granted, um, you get him at a rookie deal. But I mean, you have Daniel Jones that's that the Giants paid a lot of money to, ended up basically needing to eat some of the seller's contract and just you know gave him his walking papers. Then you also had, of course, we all know the disaster that Cleveland Browns did, with Deshaun, Watson. I mean, go ahead and give him after setting out a full year. Okay, going ahead and giving him a fully guaranteed contract. I mean, you cannot blame Deshaun Watson for taking it. I mean, man, somebody gives a gift horse in the mouth like that, you know. But when you're out of action for that long, you lose something, you know. But I mean, yes, that's kind of getting off the topic about those two needing a quarterback. But in saying that, is what I'm saying is they have risk going outside of the box before, all right, and it has not worked for them. Both those two teams, and let alone they could still get him in the second round. Uh, you know. And of course, then you got to put up. You know, another thing is how much putting up with Deion Sanders. You know, putting up with all the other stuff that's going to go with it. You know, I don't know. But would you rather have him or our current quarterback, Jared Goff? I mean, see, that's the way I'm going to rate. You know, that's the way I'm going to rate if somebody, would we have, I mean, granted, we don't need a quarterback. We got Jared Goff. You know, Jared Goff has worked out, you know, for us. But is there another guy out there that would work out better? And is that Sanders? I I don't know. Uh, not, and everybody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, Tim's a Jared Goff hater." No, I'm not. You know, I'm not a Jared Goff hater. But he scares me sometimes. You know, there's no freaking doubt about it. He does scare me sometimes. So now, what do you think? I gotta know, what do you think of the Lions draft pick? God dang. I don't know how long I'll be on tonight, but I did want to come on, and I am going to at least mention the name of all the, you know, now, do you, okay, okay, do you think that, okay, do you think that Cam Ward is better than Sanders? You know, you go ahead and look at that. Basically, the well, that's another first round quarterback that was taken. You know, um, obviously, uh, obviously, the Titans thought that he was, that Cam Ward was better than Shadir Sanders. Um, so number one overall pick, first pick of the draft, and I do gotta definitely say his name, Cam Ward. He went to Tennessee Titans. All right. Uh, and uh, I just wanted. Okay, so reminds of former Tennessee quarterback Aaron McNair. Ward is a gunslinger with confidence and moxie to lead the franchise. Those, yeah, that's why I should know her. Those tributes brought out the best in his teammates and elevated his team at Miami. And I see him doing the same thing in Tennessee under Brian Calhoun Ward gives the Titans a chance to close a gap in the AFC Buck, Bucky's book. So, and of course, guys, that was the Jaguars. That was the Tennessee Titans pick. Uh, you guys probably already know, but Cleveland ended up trading with the Jaguars, and Jaguars moved up to number 2. They got Travis Hunter, cornerback, wide receiver, Colorado. The Jaguars need a number 2 wide receiver, and number 1 cornerback. Hunter can play both. I mean, that's kind of like what Deion Sanders did. Okay. Both of these spots. Hunter has elite ball skills and is a tremendous playmaker who brings an electronic or authentic game to tons of pizzazz to Jacksonville. The Jags will want to get the ball in Hunter's hands, and variety and his versatility allows Lane Cohen to use him as a chess piece on the offense and the defense. So okay, so you look at that. All right. So if you look at that, you can see why Jacksonville wanted him. And hell, I want him. Okay, so of course the Giants were next with the Giants. Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State. All right. I love this pick. Became the Giants. Okay, I love this pick because the Giants are always at their best when their defense. Carter is an explosional depart, and my eyes are freaking bad. Off the edge, thanks to his elite get off an explosion, putting him on the defensive line alongside Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeaux allows the G-men to see multiple passes rushing and the quarterback on a regular basis. So, wow. Man, this guy's a beast. Watch out, watch out. Watch out, watch out. NFC East rivals. Man. So the Giants do know how to freaking put together a team. This of course is taking a long time, so I'll probably do some more tomorrow, but I'm going to do 1 or 2 more players tonight. and maybe do some more tomorrow morning, later on this morning. But we're just going to do one more play right now and see where we go from there. Okay, next up, with the number 4th pick, the New England Patriots. Will Capel, offensive tackle, LSU. Okay, the Patriots' offensive line needs a guy on the edge who can lock it down. Campbell does just that. He was an attribute based in the section week in the week out with firm hands and a good base. The technical Campbell puts on a clinic in pass protection. He has room for improvement in the run game, but Patriots are selling Drake Mayer up for success when they pick him. Bucky Graham, of course. These are his thoughts. So yeah, and hey, the Lions did it. They built. You build the trenches. You get the players. You know, you need those guys that's going to protect your quarterback. That's going to create holes for your running back. You need those people. So yeah. Yeah. Well, we are going to end the show on that note. Man, I hardly made it through anything today. But hey, this is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports. It's been good talking to you. It was nice to talk to you, Steve. 313 New Breed. Gotta go. Gotta try to get some sleep before work tomorrow. But I will be back on probably sometime in the morning. Everybody have a great Friday. We'll get to see who all the Lions can get. You know, are they going to keep working on defense or looking more to the offense? We'll soon find out. This is Maniac Tim with the Maniac One Show and from Maniac Sports, signing off.